Planning a trip to Alaska can be overwhelming, time-consuming, and really expensive.
Trust us, we know, especially when it comes to booking the right experiences. So let us be your personal Alaska travel guide. This is part of our Alaska travel series, where we problem solve common concerns when planning your trip to Alaska. In this episode, we're honing in on Alaska excursions.
We're Kyle, Renee, and Dexter, and this year we spent our entire summer up in Alaska in our RV. And now, we're giving you all the secrets, tips, and guides to the perfect Alaska experience. So make sure you hit the thumbs up button and subscribe so you can stay up to speed with our travels and find other videos just like this one.
So when it comes to these excursions, which experiences can you do on your own versus booking with a company?
Or how far in advance do you need to book? And how much does it actually cost?
What is our all-time favorite experience that we did in Alaska that we highly recommend you do?
Listen, there is so much to cover in this video. We're gonna share everything with you guys and all the deets you need to know before traveling to Alaska. Something we just wanna share with you right out of the gate. Expect a lot of rain. Every day in Alaska, there is a 30% chance that you're gonna be seeing some rainfall. The rain, the clouds, and the cold weather, they come into play during the summer times, whether you like it or not.
So what does this mean when you're trying to book an excursion and you're concerned about rain? Well, make sure you read the fine print. Do you remember we did the Denali flyover tour, which was amazing, but we were supposed to do a glacier landing and we didn't.
We got up there, we were flying over Denali on this tour, incredible views, and luckily we had seen the mountain itself. But as Naya said, we ran into some inclement weather along the way, and we had to prepare to not get the full experience, quote unquote, if that makes sense. You gotta be adaptable and flexible during your travel plans and your trips throughout Alaska.
Also, just knowing not to have too high of expectations.
Good one.
It's like these companies know, because before we even landed the plane, we got some of the refund back to our credit card for missing the glacier landing. I thought that was pretty cool.
We're actually gonna give credit to this company later on this video because we haven't found many companies that would be willing to do that. They really excelled above and beyond, and I feel like that's exactly why we stumbled upon them.
Read the fine print. Read it! Not only are we sharing the companies that we did excursions with, but throughout this video, we're gonna be sharing how much everything costs. And going right into the costs, boy oh boy, it's pricey. Alaska in general is expensive. We know people talk about the flights and transportation to get there, and then the hotels, groceries, and now you want to add on top of that the Alaska experience.
If you're anything like us, you have a budget and you don't want to blow it necessarily.
Well, that's great you mentioned that, because that goes into the next topic of what experiences can you do on your own to save money and which ones should you book with a guide. When it comes to Alaska, just remember there's so much to see and do, but focus on what you want to do, not should do. So for example, hiking. You can hike on your own, or you can book an excursion where you hike with a guide.
Obviously, if you go hiking out on your own, you need to be aware of nature, cold weather exposure, animal encounters, etc.
Yeah, because the guides will know where to find the cool animals and like where the cool views are.
Well, Nay, what if one of your main goals to go to Alaska is to see wildlife?
Oh.
Are you paying for it, or are you just fingers crossed, let's see and hope for the best?
Well, I think if it's one of those situations where you're like, I have to see wildlife, that might be where you put your money towards an excursion or an experience to go see wildlife.
For the longest time, us personally traveling around our RV throughout Alaska, it took us a long time to get some wildlife sightings.
What about whales and otters? Could we just take the paddle boards out and see those ourselves?
We had initially thought that. We're like, we're gonna skip out on the tour. We're gonna just paddle our way out there, see some wildlife, some sea life, I should say, and glaciers, and just figure it out as we go. Boy, were we wrong. Let's keep it really simple here. For me personally, I really wanted to see some whales. I quickly realized it's not as simple as throwing a paddleboard or a kayak in the water, wandering out into the harbor, and just hoping for the best. We quickly realized that we needed to rely on services that actually knew where the spots were to spot these sea life, and more importantly, other wildlife or glaciers along the way.
And that's where Fred came into play.
One of our favorite excursions that we did in Alaska was visiting Valdez, Alaska. We took the Lulubelle tour and we covered everything you need to know about that. So if you want some more information on specifically that tour, we won't bore you in this video, but go check out this other video. We'll leave it linked above.
There are lots of areas in Alaska that do glacier tours. For us, we didn't have a favorite glacier to see. We just wanted to see a glacier.
And along our research, we also found there were some glaciers you could actually just hike up to on your own.
But if you're a person that wants to go to a glacier and land on it and walk on it, once again, you might need to book an excursion. A huge reason that people go to Alaska is to see Denali.
It is one of the highest mountains in the entire world. 1 out of 7, I believe.
And I think it actually is the tallest mountain in North America.
Now, seeing is believing. You can't just go up to Alaska and expect to see Denali at any time. It creates its own weather patterns. What do we mean by that? On average, even on a clear day, there's only a 30% chance you're gonna see the mountain from standing on the ground. With the weather patterns and it creating its own weather system, the clouds hide the mountain, and that is so frustrating when you made that long trip all the way to Alaska.
It's just somewhere up there in the mountains like this and you don't even know it's there.
Getting more into it, we recommend don't take the chance of just seeing it from the ground. If you have to see Denali, see it from the air.
There's a lot of air charters that will take you to do this, but we went with Talkeetna Air Taxi out of Talkeetna.
If you're looking for an all-in-one service with incredible reviews, safety ratings, go with Talkeetna Air. We cannot recommend them enough. This service will not only take you to kind of see the mountain, it will take you to the mountain, and you're flying in between all these mountain ranges and above glaciers, in wildlife, in rivers, and it is incredible.
We'll be sharing more of this adventure in our next video, so another reason for you to subscribe and come along for the journey. Oh boy, fishing. Fishing is a big deal in Alaska, and a lot of you guys who are thinking of going to Alaska, you're probably saying, I gotta go fishing.
Don't set yourself up for failure when it comes to thinking what it's gonna be like. Sometimes there's gonna be great days, other times you're not gonna find anything, and we've experienced both sides.
Hey, I'm all about the experience. The men were upset that they didn't catch dinner for that night, but how cool was it to like stand waist deep in water, fly fishing, a day of sunshine actually, so lots of winds there.
We put into the Kenai River there, where it is extremely popular for salmon fishing. So we were in the right area. Unfortunately, we were at the wrong time of the season.
There's so much gear to have, and then there's also so much knowledge you need to know about what can be caught where, how many fish, the length. Just make sure you get that fishing license. 16 or over needs to have a fishing license. You can purchase just a day license and it's $15 per person. But if you want that salmon, it's gonna be a little extra pricey.
You wanna learn something cool about Alaska that you probably didn't know about? There's something called dip netting up there. They take these huge nets, they dip them in the water, and basically scoop salmon right out of the river. Is that fishing? We'll leave it up to you guys. Comment below if you think that's fishing. But I thought that was a really cool fact that we did not know prior to going to Alaska.
We did go halibut fishing in Anchor Point in the Cook Inlet there. I mean, we launched our boat right from the shore. It was so cool. The entire day was amazing, and we managed to catch plenty of halibut. I mean, they're still just loaded up in the freezer.
We almost caught 30 pounds that day.
Woo!
That's a lot of fish.
We will say that every single excursion we did was booked the night before. Are we recommending that you do that? No!
By the time you're watching this video, travel to Alaska will probably increase because we took quite a hit with previous years, especially with COVID. Things got shut down, and I think people are just getting back on their feet. Therefore, how far in advance do you really need to book some of these excursions?
Do you remember seeing those fishermen lined up along the river there?
Yeah.
And there was like barely any room for someone to stand?
I would assume, if I were in your position, that we would start looking at least a month or two in advance of the time frame we know we're going up to Alaska. Don't play it like us, because we're really flexible people. We had it in our mind that, yeah, we wanted to go do some experiences, but if we missed out, heck, we would make the best of it.
Now, if you're cruising to Alaska, I would pay attention to what ports you're landing in and the time frame, and maybe book those excursions ahead of time, because everyone on the boat is probably trying to do the same.
And that goes for all y'all out there that are already at those ports. If you know there's a cruise coming in, or you expect that there's a boat parked there and it's gonna get busy, stay on top of it.
Let's go into some Thanks Hanks tips, and this one is Alaska excursion version. No matter what kind of excursion you're doing, if it's summertime in Alaska, you want to dress dress in layers.
We really got into a pickle when we took that glacier boat tour we were speaking of. It got extremely cold next to the glacier. I'm not talking a little cold, extremely cold. So you may think it's all fine and dandy being in the summer in Alaska, but temperatures and weather patterns can change drastically.
Yeah, you'll start out really hot, you'll get really cold, and then it'll get really hot. Back and forth, back and forth.
Need we say more? A big one for us personally, being people that like to document their travel experience. A lot of these companies that you're going to utilize taking you via helicopter or airplane to certain places, they're going to have weight limits and restrictions regarding the gear that you bring along with you.
Yeah, so they will say no backpacks, just whatever you have on you is all you're allowed to bring.
So just keep that in mind. If you have a bunch of cameras, extra water, snacks, just plan accordingly.
Some of these excursions can last all day. Listen, when the website says 7+ hours, expect it could be 10. When we set out to sea on the Lulu Bell and it said 7+ hours, we thought, okay, maybe 7 hours and 15 minutes. No, it means don't look at your watch, plan to be out here all day. And there was one day that we were sitting inside the RV, we saw the Lulu Bell come in after being out for almost 12 hours. So prepare. Here's something I wish we knew way ahead of time. Some excursions you can do from different parts of Alaska. For example, if you want to visit Lake Clark National Park, which you have to take an airplane to, you can book that from Anchorage, Kenai, Homer.
There's a lot of options.
Same thing with wildlife viewing. There's a lot of charters out of different areas that will take you to where the bears are. So don't stress about having to do something in one specific area. You can take air travel.
A really quick one, if you do plan on going fishing, make sure you have both your fishing license and your ID on you at all times. We almost got bit in the butt with this experience. They will not let you fish. They will not let you get on the boat. Just be prepared. That's all I'm saying. Treat it like a passport.
These experiences are no fun if you are completely exhausted. So make sure you're scheduling rest days in between all this. These are for the people that are planning short Alaska trips.
Back to back on the ocean in the helicopter, it's gonna take a toll on your body. So give yourself some time for rest and recovery. So what was our favorite Alaska excursion that we just highly recommend you do? Well, let's show you.
Without a doubt, this experience is one of the best we've ever had and will never forget. From Girdwood, Alaska, a quick but very scenic helicopter ride with Alpine Air takes you right up to Punchbowl Glacier, where many elite sled dogs train during the summer months. Think of it as summer camp for these Iditarod champions, and boy, do they love it. Before the aircraft could even land, the thrill and enthusiasm from the dogs were quite visible and made our hearts race with excitement. Besides these world-class athletes camping up here all summer, a team of mushers and dog trainers stay on site as well, with no access to cell service or running water. One of the best parts was witnessing the eagerness of the dogs to mush. We couldn't get them hitched up fast enough based on how vocal they were. The experience included an amazing dog sled ride with our musher, followed by plentiful playtime with adorable husky puppies, aka future champs. We also had the chance to learn more about the team, training, and world-famous 1,000-mile Iditarod sled dog race. Did you know top-shaped dogs range from 3 to 6 years old, and during the race, each dog consumes 10 to 12,000 calories of food per day. This is a must-do if you're planning a trip to Alaska during the summer months. You'll be leaving with tons of great memories and so much puppy love. Are you ready to plan more of your Alaska trip? Check out these videos and let the Hanks be your guides. See you next week.